Hello, everybody. It's your boy, the Almighty One, bringing you a video, and it's about the Miami Dolphins. But before I begin, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the video on YouTube and TikTok. Don't forget to smash the thumbs there and the hearts on TikTok, and you will see this video coming at you directly from me. And don't forget to do what needs to be done to get the video circulated to all social media and YouTube and TikTok land. Alright, let's begin this subject. And by the way, happy President's Day to you people out there who celebrate this particular day. I don't celebrate it because no day I celebrate it. Day I normally sit back and rest because yes, it's day of rest for me from the job because I go back to work tomorrow. And President's Day is on Black History Month. And I celebrate Black History Month, but not President's Day because it's a day that does not belong on our month of Black History. All right, enough of that. This is really about Tyreek Hill. If you guys remember, Tyreek Hill was a free agent signing. No, I'm sorry, he was a trade. He was traded from the Chiefs, I think 2020, 21, 22, I believe. Whenever the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl, they won their first Super Bowl under Andy Reid. That was on Tyreek Hill first and only Super Bowl appearance there. And then I think he played. I think he did pretty. He had was drafted before the 2020s came to be. I think he played like 4 or 5 years with them and won a Super Bowl with them before becoming a trade bait from the Chiefs to the Dolphins. The Chiefs couldn't afford his, didn't want to pay his salary because he was a Pro Bowler. He was a multi-Pro Bowler and multi-first team All Pro with the Chiefs. And Chiefs couldn't afford his salary, so they traded him to the Dolphins for draft picks. But anyway, he's been with Miami for the past, I think, 4 or 5 years. And of those years, he had an injury season the year before. Last season just can't, because the season passed, he didn't play at all. He quit on the team. He stopped playing for them because he got tired of losing to losing to a team that was still up there. There was something wrong with the offense. So he got tired of playing with him. He didn't play with them at all last season. At all. He just quit. So I think the Dolphins put him on what they call it. It's some type of waiver when you don't play. They put you on that waiver, because you're not playing for the deal. So I think that's what happened to him. But anyway, he was released, and the Dolphins are saving 30-some million in salary cap space for his release, 22 point some million overall. They also released Bradley Chubb and James Daniel. James Daniel, I'm not exactly sure, but he was a linebacker and a free agent signing this offseason, the past offseason, and Brad Chubb been with them for the past 3 years. And he's been released. So the Dolphins saving almost close to 35, 40, maybe 50 million in salary cap space with these 3 releases. But Tyreek Hill has a good chance of rebounding. He has a good chance of going with either Chiefs, the team that drafted him first team that drafted him overall, and he also has a chance to go with the Chargers because Mike McDaniels is the offensive coordinator there who was fired this season. He was fired, and so he's the offensive coordinator over there. It's a good chance he could wind up with the Chargers or the Chiefs. Wherever he goes, it's going to be a 1-year qualifying offer that he's going to sign. I expect him to sign somewhere to 10, 15 million, and whatever it is, it's going to be a signing bonus somewhere along that guaranteed 1-year contract. But if he performed the way he performed the past 2 seasons before he quit on the team, he could wind up signing a long-term deal, but it won't be much of a big contract because he had a big contract with the Dolphins before he was released. On the same note for Bradley Chubb, I'm not exactly sure, but Brad Chubb was a first-round pick by the Denver Broncos many years before, and he was a Pro Bowl with the Broncos. And I think he's from a Vic Fangio player, I believe. I think Vic Fangio was up there when he was drafted. So it's a good chance that he could come to the Eagles on a 1-year deal, but we'll see how that works there. Because the Eagles tried to trade from last season when they to secure a trade, but they did get Jaden Phillips. So, but linebacker Daniels, James Daniels. I'm not exactly sure about James Daniels. Don't know much about him. All I know that he was a linebacker, free agent linebacker, this past season. So the Chargers the Dolphins cut all three players. They saving salary cap space, and they're reshaping their team because they got a new coach, new offensive coordinator, and so I'm assuming that these guys made up the decision to release Tyreek Hill from his contract. And the defensive coordinator, they got a new defensive coordinator as well, and I'm quite sure he paid some tribute to the two players, Bradley Chubb and James Daniels. So it's an upper office decision, but also the owners let the coaches make the decisions in the office of who they want to let go. That's what it all falls down to. But like I said, Bradley Chubb has a good chance to hook up with another team, but it could be a 1-year deal. James Daniels, not so sure. I know Tyreek here has a good chance of re-signing with either Chargers or the Chiefs because those two teams are looking for wide receiver help. If you go back to the Chiefs, it could be a 1-year basis, like I mentioned, and the same for the Chargers for the 1-year basis. And then whatever 1-year basis is going to be, it's going to be a great offer that he probably can't refuse because the guy has had a pretty good decent contract anyway when he with the Dolphins. Dolphins gave him a big $100-something million deal, and I think he earned like 35, 40, 35, 40, 50 million. I think. Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. I think he earned like 50-something million of that $100 million deal he signed with them many years ago, because he was the highest paid wide receiver at one point. But now, with the situation of him being released, there's a possibility he's gonna sign a 1-year deal, but it will not be the contract that he's expecting, because he got no choice but to go for a 1-year deal based off his production from the previous year, but not this past season. Because like I said, this past season he didn't play at all because the Broncos, because the Chiefs, the Dolphins put him on a waiver, some type of waiver, unable to perform, some type of waiver, what it was. So he didn't perform at all last year. He one of the reasons why the Dolphins had a horrible season. He also hurt the chances of Mike McDaniels keeping his job with the Miami Dolphins. So a lot of things can lead to players or coaches being out. So if he don't get back with the Chargers, it's a good chance he can land with the Chiefs or with some other team and looking for a dire wide receiver help. And the Chiefs and the Chargers are his likely options. But we'll see what happens there, because free agency kicks off March the 11th, which is approximately 2 or 3 weeks away. This month is coming to an end. After this month over, you got 1 more week to go, and then after that week, then that's the end of the overall season. But man, can't believe it. When March is almost here, and then that could be a free agency frenzy. Team could be trying to sign players, release players, and trade players between March and April before the draft gets here, because team will be making some situation to get draft picks. And from what I've been told, this year's draft is not that overwhelming on positions players. So that's what I've heard about the draft, but I'll speak on that on another situation, another time. But anyway, this is your boy bringing you the video that you guys know that Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, and James Daniels were all released by the Miami Dolphins today. That's a good chance that Tyreek Hill can wind up either at home with the Chiefs, or he can travel with his former coach at the LA Chargers. Bradley Chubb, on the other hand, going to find a new deal with another team. We'll see what happens with him. But James Daniels, like I said, not so sure, because like I said, I don't know much about him. So, with that being said, this is the Almighty One. Please comment, like, share, subscribe to the video. Please smash the likes on YouTube and smash the hearts on TikTok, or therefore the video will be posted. And I'm out of here, y'all. More videos to come today. Peace out.